Okay. Oh. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Day Legend Podcast. I'm met here with my lovely, dope co-host. I'm sorry, I apologize. Gotta, tell them what your name is, man. What's your name, cuz?
It's your boy Jay Rashid, man. What's going on, YouTube?
What we cousins, by the way, in case y'all didn't know already.
Okay.
We what's up, everybody? It's definitely been a minute. It's lovely to be here once again on this lovely Sunday. Definitely a lot has been happening. Definitely a lot of stuff that needs my attention, evidently, because damn, man, I like look, check this out. Just because I might go a week or two without uploading a video does not mean I'm unplugged. The stuff I've been seeing lately when it comes to politics has been like it's letting me know that I need to put like some a more concerted effort into like dispelling a lot of misinformation that's been that people are seen to be subscribed to for God knows what reason. But it's like I don't know, like no less like duty calls. I'm just seeing people like politicians. I'm seeing content creators. I'm seeing comments, black conservatives, all just saying all of this. Man, motherfuckers desperately need a cleanse, like for real.
Absolutely.
But that's pretty much what I kind of been up to for the most part, man. Got some content on the way, got some fresh ideas on the way as well. So definitely, keep and stay in tune with all of that good stuff. What about you, Jay Rashid? What you been up to, man?
Yeah, just working. We got to stay busy. With the theater, I've been working. We've been rehearsing the Phyllis Hammond story. That's going to be opening up September 19th at Theater 47 in Park Forest. Going to take it to L.A. in October. But that's going to be the 18th and the 19th. And then we'll be in Philadelphia for the Bobby Womack show in November. Yesterday was a day though. We've been at the 2300 Jackson Street Black Party, and that was an experience for me as a Michael Jackson fan personally. So it's been a time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah. So that's up though, man. It's good to see a relative do so well with the in that field, and then putting on his us what I'm saying, a relative and stuff like that. So, help him help like establish his legacy. You know what I'm saying? So definitely big shout out to John. Big shout out to Theater 47 for sure.
yes, sir.
But yeah, man. Today we have a nice little episode, a little bit on a more political side this time. We got some. We're gonna cover the speech by J.B. Pritzker. That's gonna more and then talk a little bit about Brandon Johnson. In tandem to that, and then also we have like another video by we'll be reviewing by Media Man, who's actually making suggestions as far as how to strategize a way forward for us, American freedmen, Black Americans, FBA, ADOS, National Black Americans, Well, we got like 3 flags. But yeah, so like definitely for sure. Definitely gonna be a decent show today. Um, what else that I need to tell y'all? If anybody that's new to this channel, new to our type of new to this show, anything like that, we do things just a little bit differently, only for the sake of like editing on the back end side. We're gonna have 3 different segments. I'm gonna intro and outro each and every segment individually, and so they'll be confused when I outro a segment. It's not the end of the show. That's just the end of that segment. We will signal the end of the show when when it comes that time. So please don't be confused by any of that stuff. Anywho, yeah, I don't think there's anything I need to add to that, so we can go ahead and get to the first video.
All right, let's get it.
Okay, cool. Everything's working. Oh, well, I gotta do this first. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Diligent Podcast, and I'm your host AC aka High. Thinking I met with my co-host
J. Rashid. What's going on, y'all?
We could, and today we gonna be talking about JB Pritzker and his response to what's gonna be happening, what our Donald Trump has got planned for Chicago, especially regarding this. No short than martial law. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe that's a little bit hyperbolic, just a little bit, tad bit hyperbolic. But he is sending his the National Guard out here to to enforce a stronger level of law. We also going to be taking a little bit of a look at the results of like DC's National Guard occupancy and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's going to be a pretty decent video today. So let's get into it.
Take any questions from members of the media, Rose. Take any questions from members of the media, Rose.
I wanted to ask you, I'm sorry for the outside question, about the New York Times report from yesterday related to the operation that's been at Naval Station Great Lakes. They're saying a request for 250 department personnel for Homeland Security, incident command posts, parking for 140 vehicles, storage space for medical supplies, and rubber bullets and tear gas. What do you make of that? Have you heard anything from the White House?
I don't know why they need rubber bullets and tear gas, and of course, this is part of a long-standing effort by the Trump administration since he took office, in fact, since just before he took office, of attacking the city of Chicago, the people, the residents of the city of Chicago. And, you know, we understand that they have a legal right to come. These are civilian law enforcement, to be clear. They have a legal right to come, but we don't appreciate when they mistreat our residents, when they go after people who, many of whom have been here for decades, many of whom are taxpayers and workers. They're people who live in our communities. They're our neighbors. They're our friends. And we now have a president and a federal government that's going after them, hunting people down, and disappearing them.
So real quick, so I want, a lot of people don't seem to know that undocumented immigrants still pay taxes. They actually pay way more taxes than the regular citizens. You know what I'm saying? So I think things like that need to go into consideration when deciding how much you dislike or dislike these people. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna be the type of person that's only gonna look at the bad of what these people bring to America, then that kind of puts you on the lines of like xenophobia, right? Again, like, it's okay to take into account like the righteous, right? The quality, the empirical. I'm sorry, anything based in like empirical evidence, obviously, but bringing anything that's negative to the table. I'm sorry, not negative to the table, but mention anything that you believe is a negative to the environment and stuff like that. Granted, again, but it has to be something that's not just subjective or anything weird like that, but something that's like actually like can be backed with state data and statistics and stuff like that, rooted in actual reality and stuff like that, please mention those things so we can actually properly address them. Maybe we can even correct them. But again, you're toeing the lines of xenophobia when you only try to mention the bad things but not mention the good things that kind of come with anybody for that matter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like when the highest of the high, like, people want to complain about,
Directly to the mic.
like, when people like at the top want to complain about paying taxes, and they share the same problems as people who they consider at the bottom, like, that's a common ground you have. So, like, man, respect the fact they pay taxes too, man. Like, that's like, to live here, you have to pay taxes, whether you're documented or undocumented.
Shit, to live here, you got to work your ass off. That's the
No, seriously.
and they work bro. Like places around the world, bro. Like they just don't. You don't have to work as hard. You know what I'm saying, to like live. I mean, mind you, like the standard of living is like different, a lot different. You know what I'm saying, but. Those people out there still find happiness and in their day-to-day lives. You know what I mean? Even though it's relatively simple, maybe they can't travel, maybe they can't do a lot of things that we can do over here. But the happiness is easier with in their cultures. Happiness is easier to obtain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes with them not having to work 5 days a week. Let's start with that. But yeah.
And then there's another thing, like, the standard here, like, you have to work at least 2 jobs to really make ends meet. If you're only working 1 job, you're not making ends meet.
Yeah. So yeah, man. That's all I want to say about that.
Off the streets, men with masks are grabbing people off the streets and taking them away, and that's just shameful.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Reyes, what's up, man?
AI creation platform.
Just so you know, brother, we gonna be
and a drive to bring it
I'll read comments like in between after this video, basically.
And watch it take
chatter, obviously, from Washington about the possible influx of federal immigration agents coming to Chicago, as well as the National Guard. What conversations have you had with the Illinois State Police and the Illinois National Guard to prepare for this if this happens?
Well, of course, I'm governor. I talk to my state police director all the time, as well as the National Guard Adjutant General. Both of them were appointed by me. We've had many conversations about, what are the challenges of the federal government imposing troops on the city of Chicago, illegally, I might add, and the fact that
Keyword illegal. I want to stop right there for a split second. What makes this nigga think he can just do what the fuck he want? Donald Trump?
Like, the fact that he's president and has a lot of people in his cabinet and government on his side.
Absolutely.
That's what it has to be.
Made it. If I recall correctly, I'm gonna post the article above my head. When I do the edit, but if I recall correctly, state judges can't question his authority. He made it so that made it so that was a thing, right?
I mean, he can try, but it's certain.
I think he did it though.
There's certain things in the Constitution that you can't, like, you can't just overwrite that. Like, was it some judges in the Supreme Court just found his tariffs illegal?
Well, no, I mean, only the Supreme Court can like deem what he does unconstitutional. But the problem is the Supreme Court is only like so many judges, right? Yeah. And but if anything, if he imposes his will, if you will, on any like individual state, yes, it's gonna get to the Supreme Court. As a matter of fact, they shut down a bunch of his tariffs just recently. But like, but yeah, it's gonna get to the Supreme Court. But by that time, he done did, and the damage is already done. You feel me? Whereas if the states judges had their liberties, had their same powers, they'll be able to quicker stop whatever he's trying to do. That's kind of like what's going on, right?
Yeah, I would say because it's his second go around as president, he knows what he can and can't do, and like like when I say he likes to drop his nuts on people, that's why a lot of his followers are red pill. You know what I'm saying? Like red pillers.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that shit.
But yeah, we will. But yeah, he likes to just drop nuts on people. So like he imposes will, and it's unconstitutional because I feel like we're living in the decade of a fascist, a dictator. Can't even say a king because he thinks himself higher than that. You know what I'm saying? Like if he really
God.
You know what I'm saying? He's a god. But it's sick, bro. It's a sickness, and people who support him, like, it's like to a certain extent, I can see why, but why? You know what I'm saying? Like the question is still why?
Yeah.
Because like his whole thing is about taking away people's freedoms, and that's what America's built on, whether you like it or not. Whether you know what I'm saying, like you like people pushing a trans agenda or gay agenda, like that's just America for you. You know what I'm saying? And to take that away, it's unconstitutional. I don't agree with it, but I mean, it's unconstitutional to take away other people's rights. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not for that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody should get a fair shake as long as they being productive members of society.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, oh boy. But let's continue on. Let's see what we got going on.
What we want most of all is for Donald Trump to help us to fight crime with civilian law enforcement. We'd love to have more ATF agents help us take guns off the streets. We'd love to have more FBI agents to help us to track down perpetrators of crime. But we don't welcome troops to the city of Chicago. We do.
I want to say something real quick about the guns thing, because I know people have a big issue with like Democrats and their gun reform and stuff like that. Like this is not to be confused with them taking away all of our guns. And it's so. I wish I didn't have to say how to cut. Stop. Cut everybody's time and disrupt the video and to say something like this. But like it really is that like. There's just too many simple-minded content creators that will like hear that and then just go take it right off the rails. You know what I mean? Yeah. So again, this is not about him taking away our guns, right? For real, it's really about taking away illegal guns off the street. Yeah. There's a big difference between the two.
Yeah, and I mean that's understandable because honestly, as you get older, you realize, I mean, who wants an illegal gun anyway? I mean, you should go the legal route, get your weapon registered, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if anything happens, you're either protecting yourself and your home and your family. Like, it shouldn't be no other way around. You shouldn't be on the offense with somebody anyway. So, I mean, take the illegal guns off the street. Yeah. Go about it the legal way.
Yeah, and unless you got something to hide, and we ain't got time for that.
You know? Exactly. I mean, shoot, you protecting a treasure in your house. I mean, your family, bro. Get you a gun, protect your man. Don't do that.
Yeah, so. Not welcome troops to the state of Illinois. I want to just say one more thing about those troops, by the way, just to remember, if there are National Guard, and those are troops, National Guard, and they're trained for war, to be clear, and they're very good at their jobs. Thank God we have them protecting our country.
Very important point.
Our Illinois National Guard gets sent to foreign countries on behalf of the United States by the president, past presidents, to stand guard for us in the Middle East, in Europe, in Asia, and I respect them greatly. Most of them, almost all of them, are not trained for law enforcement. That's not what they do. But let's respect the fact that if they get called up, or any National Guard come here, if they get called up, I know members of the National Guard, they don't want to do law enforcement on the streets. This is not the job they signed up for when they went into the National Guard.
Real quick, dude, like, I think that's the single biggest point somebody can make against this whole National Guard, a conversation or strategy. Again, like these, I mean, it's not just the fact that these people don't want to do it, but yeah, they're trained for other things. You know what I'm saying? They're trained to respond to war. And terrorism, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If there was like a terrorism situation in Chicago, completely understand that. But like everything that's like happening, on Chicago's South Side, Chicago's West Side, though, during around the public housing and stuff like that, where the crime, where majority of the crime, violence happens. These are like domestic situations, right? Things that the police department can respond to accordingly, right?
So if it happens that they end up here, we should all be respectful of them. They are following orders. That's what they're supposed to do. They can be court-martialed if they don't follow orders. And so I think they don't want to be here. We should respect that they have a job that they're being asked to do. But to be honest with you, I think the same percentage, about 85% of the National Guardsmen, maybe more, like the people of Chicago, don't want troops on the streets of Chicago. So it's un-American, if you ask me. Invading a city with troops, a U.S. president invading an American city with troops. I'm 60 years old. I've never heard of such a thing. It shouldn't.
And I agree with this as well, mostly because it's unconstitutional. We all collectively agreed and voted on the National Guard being used specifically for a very specific thing, and that's written out, in laws, So I'm agree. I mean, as an American, you know what I'm saying, I'm compelled to agree with what he just said right there.
To happen, you call up the National Guard when you have an emergency. There is no emergency here. We always need help fighting crime, of course, and there are great civilian law enforcement across the country in the federal government who can help do that, and we work with them all the time. Would love more help doing that, but not troops.
And this is just a follow-up to what Rose asked about the New York Times article. Just to be clear, have you heard anything from Washington about what they want to do in Chicago with the federal immigration agency and the National Guard? That's one part of the question. The second part of the question is, would you wish that they would at least talk to you, as a way of helping you try to inform the public about what's going on, what their plans are, and, as a way of de-escalation in case of protests, etc.
I'm so glad you asked. First, I have not received any calls from anybody in the federal government telling me about troop movements or plans for them to move people into the city of Chicago or the state of Illinois. And I think that's offensive. I think that's, as far as I know, never been done before. We've always been consulted. We have local law enforcement. We have state law enforcement that should be coordinated with. If you want to go after criminals, great. We do too. But let me be clear. No communication from them. If they would communicate with me, here's what I would tell them. The business community in the city of Chicago got together a couple of years ago, and as you know, we had a much higher crime rate. We were hoping to bring it down, the state investing significant dollars, the city investing significant dollars in doing that, and I have hired more police to the state police than anybody in memory, or I shouldn't say in memory, since the 90s. I believe that police are helpful in fighting crime. But I also want to be clear that if they would talk to me, they would hear that the business people in the city of Chicago, for example, and maybe President Trump will just listen to that, what they want is for us to interrupt violence. They want us to use violence interruption tactics, right, and organizations that are very effective, like CRED, for example. The work that they do in the communities has brought down crime by 73% in the toughest neighborhoods across the city of Chicago. That's what works. And you know what President Trump did in the face of that? He cut funding for those programs from the federal government. That doesn't help us fight crime. He's defunding police. He's defunding our efforts to fight crime.
So, yeah, what do you think about that? Him cutting funding from cutting like violence preventative measures funding, and then but also in favor of sending these troops out and performing this strategy instead, this way of going about responding to Chicago's violence.
I think that is so wrong on so many levels. So because we won't comply with your wishes, you're going to cut funding for programs that the inner city youth actually need to prevent violence. Like, he don't understand, like, I know somebody in government. Somebody has to see this and be like, nah, like you can't do that, because that's literally the funding that they do have is doing what it can to cut down. You know what I'm saying? So without that, I'm sure, man, it'll be a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
So to take away that's crazy. Like he was already threatening to take away funding with the Board of Education. So it's like, what's the deal for real? Like, what are we doing here?
Man, it's like, I think it's like conservatives are just an interesting bunch, and that's whom he is like appealing to for the most part. Because, and I say that because a lot of conservatives don't consider him to be conservative. Hell, I just listened to some niggas say he doesn't believe Project 2025 goes far enough because it does not eliminate Medicaid and all the other reforms and the social safety nets. You know what I'm saying? So like these people want more. I mean, I guess less government spending and like in social safety nets, and probably more in things like military spending and stuff like that. The things they typically like. To see the tax dollars going towards. But anyway, yeah, like they're again just going back to the point I was making. It's like the conservatives they seem to have like a surface level understanding on things, and they feel like that's enough for them to make a decision. You know, so in the and the way this is how this makes sense in the context of Chicago's violence. Somebody presents them with violent. I mean, like the statistics, the numbers, where it's happening, who's committing the crimes. And they're like, okay, so how do we come up with a solution based solely in our own morals and principles that could be completely removed from the actual nuances and culture of the individuals that not just the individuals, but like the neighborhoods and whatever I guess area that they're speaking on. Like in this case, again, Chicago, inner city Chicago, or urban. Yeah, inner city Chicago. Yeah. Whereas the devil is always in the detail. You know, it's always like the right thing to do is always to go into the source of the crime. Actually, know who's who's running the show, how they running the show, how we stop them from doing things they doing. So it's like it's one thing to just send more police officers in. And make more arrests. Yeah. It's another thing when you send people, social workers, or not just social workers, but like you send. I mean, because I know Brandon Johns, he hired a bunch of detectives. Detective is like that's a different type of law enforcement. There's more, intellectual work that goes into being a detective. I think that's like the right direction as far as like preventing crime in Chicago, but. But just to send in police officers to make more arrests for people that commit crimes. No, the crimes are going to keep coming because you're not eliminating the crime at the source. I mean, this for me and you, this should make like perfect sense. But like and it should make sense for conservatives as well. But it's just that in practice, they just, again, throw away all of that nuance. They throw away all of that advanced understanding of like these situations, and just try something. I mean, then do something they've been trying to do for over 50 years, and there's a result. I mean, it's like when they see arrests being made, they call that results, But there's a difference between like imprisoning some random nigga off the street that was holding a gun, that's holding whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference between actually having people embedded in the system and then essentially taking stopping it all, stopping at least majority of it from the source itself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. Oops, my bad. Yeah, so I don't know, man. So him just using this, what I would call fear technique.
Yeah.
That's just.
It's old and played out.
It's old and played out.
See because we've done studies on like Hitler and Mussolini back in World War II. So it's like we see how like fascism goes, how tyranny goes. He's not covering up his role trying to be political. Like he's appealing to some people, but it's like you're a businessman first. You never was a politician. So coming into office, it's all just a show. It's all just a show. So like him talking his trash, I think he knows that some things aren't going to fly. He just likes to hear himself talk. That's what I think it is.
I think he got a lot of places just by talking, and it just makes it worse. Now he's 80 years old, still love to hear himself talk. So I couldn't agree with you more, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
So that he can send troops into the city of Chicago for one reason. I want everybody to pay attention what the reason is. It's about the elections in 2026 and about interrupting our ability to have a fair and free election in 2026. We're not the only targeted city. He's talked about lots of other cities. We're just the first one outside of Washington, D.C., where he has federal control. We're the first one that he wants to invade, and it's for that purpose and not about fighting crime.
Governor,
Yes.
yesterday,
Hi.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, the Chicago Police Department, laid out its plans should the National Guard be deployed. Can you share a little bit more on what tools you have available should the National Guard be deployed? What plans the city has?
Sure. What the city is doing, and by the way, the state of Illinois and its Illinois State Police are engaged also, is organizing around the same principles that we had for the Democratic National Convention, right? We had a lot of people coming, a lot of people visiting the city of Chicago. We knew there were going to be protests, and so the preparations for that are really sort of like they were around the Democratic National Convention, making sure that the civilian law enforcement at the federal level, civilian law enforcement at the state level, coordinate as best they can. But there's no stopping a president who is hell-bent on breaking the law and sending troops into a city. The only thing that will stop it is if all of us and the public across the nation, who by huge numbers thinks this is a terrible idea, stand up and say something. Because one thing I know about Donald Trump, he's got a big ego.
Okay, so he seems to be calling for people to step up and speak out. You know what I mean? And or at the very least, he understands it's going to happen anyway. And just going off of like what's going on with the ICE, what happened with the No King situation. Yeah, Chicagoans definitely have no problem voicing their contempt. Not just by not from the couch, but actually from the street. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he does believe protests will happen. He does believe protests will happen, and it's good to be speaking up on things like that in advance, because it is indication that he knows the people well, but I don't know. Like, do you think it's like? So, do you think it's like a good idea? Like, I don't know, because like me personally, most likely not going to be out there. Just be real. Protesting for these. Protesting for these. Like, listen. I don't know. I ain't really made my mind yet. But what I would say is like, don't like the idea of putting myself like going out my way, starting my disrupting my busy day for some stuff that I just have no power in changing. But at the same time, I still know that there's people gonna just go out and do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think it's a good idea, or what do you kind of think about like the protesting of this specific situation with him sending ICE agents and the National Guard to Chicago?
I think that's honestly the beauty of America when it comes down to democracy. Like, you can, if you don't like what's going on, you can voice your opinion and protest in the streets. Now, I'm always an advocate for a peaceful protest. I never wanted to get violent, but sometimes things go that way. And honestly, if it was to be that situation, I would just remove myself, because I didn't come here for no violence. I ain't come here to start no throwing rocks at SWAT police and they tear gassing us. I mean, I'm gonna get me and my people. We getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not here for that. We're not even armed or trained to go to war with these people who are trained to go to war against threats greater than us. Because we ain't out there. I mean, some people may have their guns or whatever, but I mean, I feel like as an American, you should be armed, but I feel like some people out there with the wrong intentions, and I don't think it's just it's so easy for things to go left in a situation like that. It's so when tempers get flared, that's why the riots and stuff happened during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, I've been to a couple protests myself. You know, so I mean, I feel like if that's what you want to do, then I mean, do it. But don't ever feel like it's no power in your presence being there. You know what I'm saying? Like even like if we could get enough people to go down to Senate, we can change things. For real, for real. If we can get enough people to assemble and go down to the Capitol, we can get them to change things as Trump trying to put into office.
Yeah. Here's like some back end, not back end. What I mean it says that power. I want to speak on that. I want people to understand that a little bit better, right? People protesting, and doing some level of disruption, writing the signs, showing up, en masse is not just sending a message that you are in disagreement with what's happening with the decision that's being made, right? It's also showing, it should also be showing those politicians that there will be there'll be electoral consequences for the actions that you're committing to.
Yes.
So,
I was just gonna say, like, when you see people in mass out there, like you have representatives of the people, but when you see the people out there saying something else, how the hell can you combat that?
yeah, exactly. And then, and if you try to combat that and it don't sound right and it's not productive for the people, yes, those people will vote you out. You know what I mean? And that's like that's like the message that people should be getting from these protests. That's what the intention of these protests should be. Now, if you have other intentions, that means you're bringing other things to cause a further disruption, like rioting and stuff like that.
Rioting and looting. That's what be going on, and that's why we have people like Kyle Rittenhouse, people who want to vigilantes who want to stand out there with their ARs and shit, like take law into their own hands.
Yeah.
And I mean, shit, some of them just happen to be white, and it's crazy when some of them black or brown. You know what I'm saying? It's really crazy. You know what I'm saying? But people who carry that chip on their shoulder that they have to protect their country. I mean, and it's like to a certain degree you can't blame them, but it's like when you see what the protest is about, it's like how are you gonna stand out there and be the armed forces against the people who just want justice for, you know what I'm saying, whatever the cause is.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree on. Yeah, that's it.
And he doesn't want to offend the majority of Americans and their sense of, you know, how you should fight crime. He wants to be popular with everyone. And so people need to stand up and speak out and talk about the fact that it's unconstitutional, what he's suggesting.
Unlike the DNC, we're in communication with the federal government. How dangerous, potentially dangerous, is that there is no coordination, there is no communication leading up to this?
Yeah, the President of the United States doesn't understand that it's law enforcement, civilian law enforcement, that helps to keep order, that helps to fight crime. It's not troops. You don't send troops in. We have troops that go abroad to fight wars for us. They don't fight wars in the United States. We have civilian law enforcement to do that job. And it's a terrible waste of resources. It literally is going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars for the federal.
That is the big one right there. It's going to cost us hundreds of he said millions or billions? Hundreds of millions?
I thought I heard millions, but it could have said billions. Put that back a little bit.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, so it's going to cost us hundreds of millions of dollars to commit to sending these troops across the country like this, you know, when he could have just committed to the funding that was already like set in place, which was showing results. But instead, like I said, he thinks. I mean, what else can I say? He wants to instill this fear technique that he thinks is. I'm sorry, he's going to get some instant gratification on. But again, you're just trimming the hedges. You're not, you're not uprooting anything because like it's like. Are we gonna get into? And I know it's gonna confuse people. They're gonna think, "Oh, these guys are a bunch of shields and stuff like that." But no, there's a distinct difference between how a police officer slash and or a detective is being trained on how to solve crime in comparison to a National Guard or somebody that's from the Army. Those people point and shoot, and they do intense military or combat training. Police officers do some level of combat training, but it's not to the from my we're gonna verify this later, but yeah, to my understanding, they don't commit to as much combat training as the troops do.
No, I don't think so. That's why like cops with military experience, they're looked at as more experienced than a regular beat cop. You know what I'm saying, per se. You know what I'm saying?
So again, I think that's really, really, really important. And so like the point I was getting at is that it's the detective and even the cop. You know what I'm saying? They are not only are they trained for it, but they also live it. They know the territory. They know the people better.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. Again, they'll be able to intercept like the root of the problem faster and with more finesse than a military person. Do that make sense?
No, that makes absolute sense because, I mean, with people getting flown in, like you said earlier, they don't know the area well as, say, a trained cop who grew up in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're just coming in and they just know they have a job and they're going to try to do their job to the best of their ability. And, of course, there's going to be people who take their job overboard, and that's when we're going to have discrepancies with the people, and you may have clashes at protests. But I feel like I feel like JB is really playing his political card, but I really do feel like that's the kind of a general consensus among them. Like they don't want to be out there. They don't want to hurt nobody. They don't want to hurt the civilians, but they have a job to do. Some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them love to go overboard with their job. Like you see these ICE officers don't give a damn. Mm-hmm. They go overboard and are proud of it. So you're going to have those National Guard members who are overboard and proud of it. But I feel like you got some who got sense and they don't want to do that. It's a waste of taxpayers' money, and like we all paying taxes. It's a waste of money when you could be putting the money into something else that can lower crime.
Yeah, we like Mayor Brandon Johnson. I mean, J.B. Pritzker knows Illinois better than Donald Trump knows Illinois. Brandon Johnson knows Chicago better than
J.B. Pritzker.
Him too, but Brandon Johnson knows Chicago better than Donald Trump knows Chicago. You feel me? Yeah. You can almost say all the different individual aldermen know their own wards better than Brandon Johnson knows those individual wards. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm getting at is we have the nuance over here. We know the culture. We know what's required over here. We know our stats, data. We know all this stuff. He has to trust the state. He has to trust the cities to make the best decisions for ourselves, and then just send us the funding that we send y'all, and then some, so we can actually better take care of our own situations. I don't know what else to say, man. It's just like I said. It's just this draconian. Like we have to control everything. We have to just waffle stomp all of the problems down the drain. You know what I mean?
For the federal government to do what they're trying to do, and it has no purpose related to crime. It is only related to interrupting the elections in 2026.
Last question, and we gotta go.
Yeah, Rose.
Tom Homan's comments yesterday seemed to suggest this is more about ICE agents, and the New York Times was about Homeland Security officials. Do you feel like that's the way that the Trump administration is doing this legally to avoid having to call on the guard?
They've tried this before. They've come to the city of Chicago with ICE agents before. As you know, Tom Homan came with Dr. Phil. I mean, is that a serious endeavor? But it is a serious endeavor because they were literally scaring the heck out of people in Little Village and Pilsen and other places in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. So it is a very serious matter, but they apparently think this is some kind of reality TV show. And so the intentions here are clear. Again, nothing to do with actually enforcing the law, nothing to do with actually keeping the peace. They want to inflame something. That is what they want. They look at what they did in Los Angeles. Again, people with masks walking around or showing up, driving up in vans and grabbing people off the streets and throwing them in the back of a van. That's not the United States. Again, it's un-American to do something like that. I studied the Holocaust. I helped to build a Holocaust museum. This is what happened in the early days of the Nazi regime in Germany. I'm not suggesting we're going the same direction necessarily, but boy, it's frightening. What is happening here has happened in many other countries, and those are the countries that are autocratic, authoritarian dictatorships.
Yep.
Thank you very much, everyone.
So it's very important to highlight those similarities between what Donald Trump is doing and what what he just said, autocratic dictatorship style of governance or rulership. Same deal.
Absolutely. But let me just say, I find it really ironic that he brought up the 2026 elections. I think this battle with Donald Trump is going to be, he sees it as a jackpot. Goldmine, he's licking his chops. If you really want to get a big vote, commit to building a slavery museum. You want to talk about that the Holocaust Museum real quick? Build a slavery museum. So
there's something that's more robust and expansive than what they had at the exhibit they had at the Smithsonian.
I mean, I wouldn't even have to say it has to be bigger than that because the Smithsonian, that's supposed to be like the mecca of museums. So I mean, they can have the best exhibit, but give us something. You know what I'm saying? Put up something. And shit, Springfield, you're the governor, But I mean, that's just me being petty because it's election time, and I know he's really just playing that political. He's being a politician, and he just wants to seem like he's on our side, and he wants to make it like a war. He wants to make it personal between Donald Trump and him. So I mean, I don't know. My bullshit meter is just kind of going off. But I mean, he
can't ignore that bullshit meter, bro.
but he ain't lying about some other stuff. So I mean, I give it to him.
Yeah. All right, so let's. I just pulled it up, just to kind of verify what I was saying earlier about there's a difference between how the National Guard is being trained in comparison to local law enforcement. Yeah. I'm just gonna read out. This good old Google AI overview is coming and it's doing all my work for me. National Guard training focuses on military objectives, emphasizing combat skills and adhere to military standards with a mindset of neutralizing threats, while police training emphasizes domestic law enforcement, focusing on community policing. Why do I do that? Focusing on community policing, handling citizens' rights and civil liberties within the framework of the legal system. The primary distinction is the National Guard is a military force designed to fight wars in response to domestic emergencies under civilian control, whereas police officers are civilian law enforcement personnel who enforce local laws and maintain public order.
Which is why most of what they do is arrest. But we see these police that like to go into vigilante mode, and it should be a neutralizing shot, but they like to go overboard and kill whoever they're they're suspect. But they're only trained to maintain peace and order.
Yeah. They're trained, on paper, this is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, they're supposed to be trained.
But like some people be tweaking, we know.
you give an idiot live rounds, that's a very dangerous choice.
Yeah, they just it's like playing the game, right? And then they give you the tutorial is like presented in front of you with all the flashy, bright, bold like text and font and all that stuff, and they give you the line to follow to do the thing and all that stuff. And by the time you get out in the open world, you find yourself Going back to your instincts. I'm like,
Like
bro,
you forget all about all that stuff. You learn from the bottom up, for real, for real.
man, that's it'd be funny, man. But I don't know, like if like I'm the type of person that likes to be quite meticulous with my learning. You know what I'm saying? I do like to get into like the weeds and stuff like that as far as what I'm trying to understand and stuff like that. I'll study the same material consecutively until I have a good understanding of like of what whatever we're talking about. But some of these guys, like, they just kind of crash out a little too free. It's a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, see, I like to be hands on with stuff. So it's like, show me as I go. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't, because if I'm just sitting there listening to it for hours on end, by the time y'all put me in the field, it's gonna be like I can only retain so much. So it's like, show me as I go.
Yeah. So furthermore, enforcing local and state law, police training focuses on enforcing local and state laws, handling criminal justice issues, and protecting rights of citizens. The mindset is views individuals as citizens and interacts with them within the context of their legal rights and constitutional protections. The skill set, law enforcement techniques, community policing, investigation, and prosecution. Authority operates within the civilian justice system and considerable discretion, but within established legal frameworks. Key differences: the purpose between the two. The National Guard is a military organization for warfare and domestic support, while police are a civilian law enforcement. Legal framework: police operate under the civilian laws and the U.S. Constitution, while the National Guard operates under military law and directives. Perception of civilians. The fundamental difference in perception is that the military views people as potential threats, while police see them as citizens who may be misbehaving, according to NPR. And there's like further. I mean, if you want to do your own research as far as if anybody wants to commit to their own research as far as going further than like what Google AI kind of like presents, like so you just search it up yourself. Really easy to do, and click on these hyperlinks, and then kind of go into further readings. Not I think I fully what's the word? I fully endorse doing something like that, but it's everything I read to you is absolutely true. And anybody that wants to be a contrarian is free to disagree if they so choose to.
I mean, I feel like the perception of civilians, that's a key thing to focus on, because like someone who's trained to see people as potential threats, they're gonna be so much quicker to shoot to kill on sight.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a local police officer who knows a crackhead may just be tweaking real quick, just need to be tased or something, subdued, or sitting, or a local drunk who just comes up, maybe had too many to drink, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I mean, I just, because a lot of people who's trained for war, it's a switch they have to flip on, and when it's a matter of life and death, they don't care about, you know what I'm saying, anyone else's life, as long as the people they're trying to protect is safe.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying, like, if we worried about the police out here shooting us quick, these National Guards gonna be even quicker.
Yeah. And like I said, and mind you, I do want to kind of make note that there has been significant results that was found. I did pull it up already. I do want to be fair, but I still have my own views on these findings. Someone says she lived in D.C. and she's glad Trump sent the National Guard. Just her opinion or whatever. But what was the actual numbers? Okay.
That picture of Elon was hilarious.
Hmm?
So that picture of Elon was hilarious.
So, but yeah, wait a minute. It was. I don't know why it didn't show up in the article itself. I didn't read it. I guess I should have read it. So I probably could have hit the find button, hit the find key or whatever. But yeah, in 2 weeks, 1,000 arrests and like a lot. And I think, hold on, I'm about to add this up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I could have sworn there was a better article. I mean, they showed you the numbers. I don't know why I can't show that. It's not showing me the numbers. Oh goddamn, they doing too much now.
Yeah, we need a credit card.
Yeah, man.
Shit. Google 2,000 arrests in 2 weeks.
It's 1,000, right?
Yeah. NBC4 Washington, that should be free.
Who you say?
That should be free.
Well, we gonna just go with this. But yeah, like I said, there is results. There was results that came from the National Guard occupancy, and it's like I said, and these type of numbers will please like most people. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of crime off the streets. They got guns off the street as well. And I mean, if this is what they're looking for, then I mean, okay, I get it, you know. But at the same time, it's like there's still kind of more to kind of go along. There's still more like going on with this. And I will say, it'll be good to wait for like more information or more development information on this, because there's a possibility that some of these guys aren't even like criminals. Like these could have been like mistakes, in other words, right? And if there's going to be like a number of exonerations that's going to come from this event, then I think that's going to be very telling as far as the to our point, just how effective the National Guard is at solving responding to violence in inner cities and stuff like that. So got some.
CBS Austin, they said FBI reports more than 1,200 arrests under Trump's federal crime crackdown in D.C.
Yeah, we're about to. Not this time. But so I don't know. But regardless, otherwise, like I said, man, it's just that if this numbers they want, then that's fine. But in my opinion, again, this is just trimming the hedges instead of like pulling it up by the root. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got anything else to add?
Man, we just gotta stay tuned and stay prayed up, because it's gonna be a rocky. What we got? Half the year is down already, so 3.5 years? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it's like I said earlier, man. Definitely stay tuned. This is again, I do believe this is gonna be developing information. It's gonna be developing news. Like the 1,000 or 1,200 arrests do look good, now. But again, I am curious as to the accuracy of these people actually being, criminals and stuff like that. So,
I was gonna say one more thing. It would have been funny at the J.B. Pritzker press conference if he would have said, instead of talking about Center National Guard, he needs to release the Epstein files.
Man,
people need to turn focus back on that, because he's trying to distract from that. He's trying to make extra moves outside of that to get people to move on from it.
Yeah.
But people need to stay on his ass. People need to stay on his ass about that, because he's like he knows his name's probably first on the list for real. But yeah, that's it though.
Yeah, we'll catch y'all the first man. It's been CBD. We'll be out here.
Peace.
Okay, so let me pull this back up. This is cool. Man, this is gonna be a real short one. Try to stick some more videos. It's gonna be like less than 10 minutes. That one's definitely gonna be a long one. All right, let's read some of these comments. So then Danielle Shaw says slavery museum would have to be in D.C. and bigger than the DuSable. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. Yeah, man, I was so upset about. Oh my God, dude! Because like when I didn't know about the Smithsonian having all those slavery the slavery exhibits and stuff. Well, you know what? Maybe I heard of it a long time ago, but it kind of just dawned on me when I started like think differently and like, wait a minute, this is something important that I should be checking out. And then like the next month he pull out that executive order talking about, well, it's time to pull all this shit up because it's too woke. And I was that shit kind of hit me, like, you know what I mean? That shit kind of hit me kind of hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Anything that is for us is considered woke, and if it's woke, it's broke in today's society. So it's a bad time to be us, bro. That's why we got to stand 10 toes down, and we ain't going.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that's just like, bro, I made this podcast knowing full and well this ain't the type of shit that's gonna make that's gonna flip a bag. You know what I mean? It's not. This is very much so something that I can't get into with the intentions of making a lot of money, because these are very honest and very truthful politics that's gonna spit in the face of like something that's extremely popular right now, and that's glazing Trump. Yeah. We saw people that not even mention politics for years, all of a sudden get the glazing Trump just because it's a part of the algorithm all of a sudden.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because as with that, you have politicians who, I don't even know if I'm just repeating you like right now.
Yeah.
But like with politicians who've been in the game, like they know how inexperienced this guy is. Now all of a sudden they kissing his ass just to be next to a man of power. Like it's crazy, like the things that people do just to be next to someone
absolutely
with a title. Like,
dude, take Brandon Tatum for example. He's like he's a YouTuber that's an ex cop. His channel grew like extra like outrageously over like 3 or 4 years, just because he consistently like bash black people. You know what I mean? And there's an audience for that type of thing. A black dude talking shit about black people. What is this? This guy, this is amazing.
He must be telling the truth.
Candace Owens like the same shit. It's like there's a market for this type of stuff. So like
it's sickening, bro, because like it's like people know there's an audience of people who want to hear a black person talking mess about their people, because they want to be like, well, see, even he's saying it, so it must be true. Like,
ain't that crazy? And that's just one nigga,
just one motherfucker. Like, it's crazy, bro.
So yeah, like, so for us, bro, I don't ask for nobody. I don't ask for no money. I don't put no my cash app. I don't do none of that shit. If y'all can just share it and then maybe like and leave a comment just to help us out in the algorithm, so that more people can actually get the actual truth. That's cool enough for me. Like, I got a full-time job already. Jay Rashid got a full-time job. Yeah. King Savage got a full-time job. Kanji. Chuck, we all got full-time jobs. We cool, you feel me? But we just want more people to understand politics a little bit better, and we need more people to understand the black perspective, because we the reason all of these crazy things that happen to black communities by the hands of politicians is because black people was not in the room. Black people weren't present.
Or misrepresented.
And misrepresent, absolutely. So that's all we ask, man. Just like, when our videos come out there, share it and like it or whatever like that, bro. And just kind of help us out with the algorithm. But yeah, that was a great comment back, Danielle Shaw. We definitely need to see a very robust museum representing what happened with the actual truth. I'm finna say something else about that, but yeah, this is so much to say about slavery in America, and it needs to be said by way of showing people with these museums. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Sean Winter says, "I'm here for it. Bring the military to Chicago." So this person's trolling. Is working very well in Washington D.C. The crime has been low. Bring the troops to Chicago. Like I said, I mean, this is pretty much what we kind of said already, right? Like the results, the numbers are going to speak for itself. But like, my question is, how relevant are these numbers? Just how much of an impact are these numbers going to bring? Now there's an element of fear that he's going for, and some would agree that fear is that running off of fear or pushing your message with fear is effective. But I just don't know how. Like I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about that a little bit. Because I know if I was being led by fear instead of like actual like respect and adoration and love, that just breeds like two different types of results. They breeds like two different types of like types of like followership. So if I had a leader that I admired, right, that I respected, that I trusted, there's gonna be it's gonna be different results in comparison to somebody that's just force army that like I don't know has a gun strapped to my head. Like it's like I'm always trying to consider a way I'm always trying to strategize a way to get out of the situation. But that's off of is it because I'm a being with like a decent amount of willpower? Am I just not a coward, or is it just like everybody else is overly willing to just I don't know take it? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of the thing that's kind of on my mind when I think about like running the country in this kind of matter. Does that make what I mean?
No, that makes absolute sense because but then again, that's all a matter of taking a leap of faith because a lot of people don't know like what their following will look like until they get out there and voice their opinion. Like I've considered running for some positions, getting into politics for real. Because I feel like I have a valuable opinion that a lot of people can relate to. But my thing is just working on getting numbers, people to vote for me. I don't feel like I'm that persuasive when it comes to, like I'm not, because I'll be straight up before I feel like I'm gonna lie to you. Like I'm not, like that's where I would fail as a politician. Like I can't lie for shit. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I can't fix this, I can't fix that. But what I can fix, I will fix. And I'll do what I can to send it up to the higher up people to make sure that your voices are heard.
Yeah. True. So yeah, Ocean also says she agreed with you, so that's good. There you go. Danielle Shaw says there's always power in numbers. Absolutely true. And then Aureus, I guess Aureus is one of my old friends, and he says he's a surprise. This is the first time he's seen me and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's some good comments. Good comments.
All right. Thank y'all.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm on the right part of this video real quick. So just give me a quick second, y'all.
Whatsoever. So if the federal government won't save us, what can we do?
Oh man, bro, I'm good, boy. I'm good, bro. I just clicked it. I'm like, yeah, it might be around this point right here, and I'm like, this is literally where I wanted it to be. Okay, so we're gonna go into our next segment, everybody. So just bear with us. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Corner Show. And I'm wait. See, this is. Say it again.
I said we good now?
Yeah, you want to probably, yeah, you good. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Corner Show with me, Howard Thinking. I'm joined with my host,
Jay Rashid. What's going on, y'all?
here on the Chicago Black Day Legislation YouTube channel. Today, we will be covering he'll be mad at me for calling him a red pill content creator. He made the distinction earlier this year that he makes apparently what's the word? What's the verbiage he used? Like content that is easily relatable. Okay, so because he makes a lot of content that just so happened to is put a lot of the ladies in heavy scrutiny. He just said this is a matter of fact, not him being particularly a red pill content creator. And there are, to be fair, I've seen some difference between the way he runs his show and how he kind of does things in comparison to just like flat out red pill content creators, especially and like especially like the more extreme ones. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So I try to be fair with those distinctions and stuff like that. But in this video, he actually said he was actually cooking. You know what I mean? And I like it when Media Man cooks because we can actually get to some sort of a togetherness argument or not argument, but solution crafting when we start talking about like the core issues within that's happening in the black community. A lot of especially these red pill content creators seem to believe that all of the problems, all of the woes of Black America are self-inflicted. Completely untrue. Okay, I think there's a lot of nuance that we have to cover first. A lot of history that needs to be addressed and discussed before we just throw the book at Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? Now and that's not to absolve, and I know they love to just keep talking about, oh well, you sound like you're trying to avoid accountability, but it's not avoiding accountability. This just everything needs to be set, everything needs to be stated and addressed with the proper context. You know what I'm saying? And then we can start getting to like real solutions instead of, oh, y'all need more daddies in the household. Like no, kids have their fathers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though that there's a population of kids that are going through like there are some parents that are doing like a co-parenting situation where the father may be living elsewhere, but he's still present, and he's still heavily present at that. Like there's actually a study there's actually been a study highlighting that Black Americans amongst fathers that are not present in the home are the most active fathers, are the most present fathers. So like we do the best we can as far as being in the lives of our kids. Some people say some people will argue that there's a difference between a kid being in the. I'm sorry. Some people say there's a difference between the father being in the home, as comparison to him, the co-parenting situation. But there's been no studies detailing that. The only thing that people typically are referencing when they try to criticize fathers not being in the home is the actual marriage statistics, and that's not the same as like trying to. That's not the same as That's not the same as discussing kids and fatherlessness and stuff like that. The kids have fathers. It's just that the fathers aren't married to the women. Like this. It's beyond triggering at this point. That's why I'm talking so much about it. Yeah. But otherwise, we get to the real solutions and not just like these retarded like conservative talking points. Pardon my French. Media Man is bringing that to the table. So let's go ahead and check out what he's talking about.
All right. And I'll just say like I'm unfamiliar with him, so I'll just like this is my introduction to him. So. I like his presentation so far. You know what I'm saying? Like the background, the map. That's
Let me show him real quick. Yeah, hold on. Go ahead. Glaze my man up a little bit.
I ain't finna glaze shit. Now you can go ahead and get to the video. Fuck, I ain't gonna say shit now.
No glazing for Media Man, evidently.
No, I just like the map. I just like geography. That's all.
Facts.
So if the federal government won't save us, what can we do? We must turn to tangible, community-driven solutions. Number 1, targeted careers. Aim for industries with high wages and growth. Professional services, healthcare leadership, tech, advanced manufacturing, and skilled trades. Build mentorship pipelines, certifications, and apprenticeships to get there.
What you think about that one?
I think it's laying out a solid plan.
Yeah, I mean, just the typical pick the right jobs, right? Don't pick no bullshit jobs. Pick some stuff that actually works. There's a big need for electricians, carpentry. Say it again.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, trades. Yeah, trades and stuff like that. So that's definitely should be on the agenda of Black Americans and stuff like that. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I mean apprenticeships, certifications. Like the IT has like a robust catalog, with a handful of them making over six figures. Very important work. I would argue, especially going to the future. You know what I mean? Like something like cybersecurity, people may think that's not like. I mean, people may think whatever they want about cybersecurity, but cybersecurity is like definitely here to stay, and it's just gonna get more and more robust as time passes.
Absolutely.
So, and bro, it's like people just don't know it, man. Like cybersecurity, like there's a cyber world out there. You know what I mean?
It's a whole world because like we're living online nowadays. We doing a lot of online shopping. It's a whole like they have our identity online, and that needs to be protected. Like
Needs.
it's just But I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
So, yeah. I mean, targeted careers. I'm with it. You know what I mean?
Build trades, build mentorship pipelines, certifications, and apprenticeships to get there. Number 2, demand fair pay. Push for pay transparency, standardized promotion criteria, and use unions, associations, and networks to negotiate from strength.
So demand fair pay. Any opinion?
No, I mean I agree with that. You gotta, cause I mean you know what you bring to the table, and I feel like coming in, I work for a lot of companies, and I seen they love to start entry level. They love to underpay. So it's like if you know what you're coming in with, if you got certifications for that, don't never undersell yourself. Never undersell yourself. You have the right to demand fair pay. Pushing for pay transparency, that's something that should be open in more policies when it comes to bringing on people into a company. Standardized promotion criteria. Definitely need to use unions for sure.
Yeah.
If your job has a union, definitely take advantage because a lot of jobs they don't have unions, and a lot of those employees, for whatever reason, may just come up short of a job if the company's just experiencing some sort of shortened production or sales, like anything that goes wrong, and they need to lay off some people, and you're not protected by a union, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So, and always use networks to negotiate. I mean, network to negotiate from. Yeah, negotiate with your And I'm telling I heard this in one of my meetings, and I was telling my girlfriend about this. That it's okay when you're working in a company to discuss with other people like how much y'all making, as long as you're not weaponizing it or nothing like that. It's okay to know, you know what I'm saying, because you don't ever want to get underpaid in your job. Know where the bar is, so you can ask for that and know when you should be getting more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Always have some sort of leverage when you go into these negotiations, when these discussions with your
understand
employer.
your leverage, right?
Understand your leverage. You know what I'm saying? Know where you stand. Know where you could be. Know where you can grow if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that. He cooking, G.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think you really just pretty much covered everything I kind of wanted to mention. Yeah. Push for page transparency. Like, yeah. I mean, what you just said regarding contrasting your pay with like your coworkers and stuff like that. Especially the thing about, I mean, like Google like can give you like you can get the median, understand what the median is of like whatever profession you're doing, and then just at the very least ask questions as far as, okay, why am I not meeting this median? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, hell, when you see that old man retire and you know how much money he was making after like 20 years, it might be time for you to come in and say, yeah, so I saw Jim Bob dip off. What's up with my advance or my pay increase? So
I was just about to say that with people who are retiring, if you know how much they're making in their salary or if you know how much they're making, you know what to aspire to or shoot past. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about knowing where to go, because like they're not gonna tell you. So I mean, like some things they want you to find out for yourself. These companies, they're not gonna tell you. They want you to find out for yourself. So don't be afraid to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? And demand fair pay when need be.
you probably want to ask questions to other employers as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely.
And then let that be an additional leverage. Hey, I have
you got a job offering this much. That's how you get them to give you a raise at the job you're at now, when you have someone else offering you more.
Yes, sir. Let's keep going.
criteria and use unions, associations, and networks to negotiate from strength. Number 3, scale black-owned businesses. Pool capital through credit unions and investment clubs. Use supplier diversity programs to grow beyond sole proprietorships and mentor the next wave of entrepreneurs. Number 4, increase.
Not bad. Scaling black-owned businesses. Yeah, put putting our resources together, putting our money together, and put it in things. This is a little bit. Not gonna lie to you, this is a little bit above my head. Like banks, there's so much stuff going on with banks and how it kind of works and stuff like that. But one thing I do know is when a healthy bank backed by black dollars is can only mean good things and it can only mean less discrimination when it comes to black Americans or for our own people. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, of course, there's going to be challenges and stuff like that. It is going to be only our money. And they're competing with people like J.P. Morgan, Citibank. That is one hell of a conversation to have. But when it works, there's great potential for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
but I would say what comes with that though, like a lot of these like black-owned banks and black-backed banks, like they still hold that bourgeoisie attitude towards people who's trying to break through.
mm-hmm.
You know, like the average man starting up his business may not get that loan like the second go round. That's why you got to keep on going until somebody finally says yes. You know, but it's an uphill battle when you're black in America, starting from the bottom, for real.
That bourgeoisie attitude is a really big problem in the black American community. Absolutely. And this goes into like the next thing, like mentoring the next wave of entrepreneurs is one of his biggest points. And that like the sense of elitism that is still lingering in the black community is a big is a huge problem in my opinion. And with that elitism comes like a reluctance to mentor the next wave of entrepreneurs, because those entrepreneurs are important. You know what I mean? And mind you, of course, they come with there's some concerns that kind of come with that attitude, with the attitudes of entrepreneurs. But how do I put this? It's still salvageable. Yeah. It's not to the point where it's just there's no point of no return. But the next wave of black entrepreneurs is very, 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 very incremental or important to the success and the overall longevity of black Americans. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. But again, there's a conversation that the working class blacks need to have with the bourgeoisie / entrepreneurial level of black Americans. But we'll have that conversation another time. You got something to say?
No, I feel like you pretty much.
But you got this look on your face. You be like,
no, man, it's just
as soon as he's done talking,
I just feel like it's a lot that goes into being black in America, and that conversation between the working class and the upper class, like it needs to be had soon, because like we need to come to common ground, because like I feel like it's really just an attitude in the world. I can't even say it's just an American thing where people who live in the working class and below, they have this attitude of hostility towards people who's in the upper class. Even people who may not have hostility towards them. I mean, you could say they're just hating, but I mean, it's reasons for everything.
It usually is, and those reasons, even the quote unquote haters, have like a history, that they need to figure out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So shout out to therapy.
Yeah, for real.
Let's keep going.
Beyond sole proprietorships and mentor the next wave of entrepreneurs. Number 4, increase home ownership. Leverage down payment assistance, VA loans, USDA loans, and try our best to avoid predatory lending. We need to teach our people to turn housing into equity.
Okay.
To avoid predatory lending.
So, home ownership. Go ahead.
No. Well, as far as what I would have to say about home ownership,
Just scoot your chair up. You gotta lean forward like that.
Yeah, as far as like home ownership, like we definitely need more black homeowners. Can't just be renting out everything. We need more. We need more. What's the word?
What, financial literacy or
Shit, that too.
okay.
We need more. We need more liquid in the black community that can build and accumulate over time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like we invest in things that depreciate over time.
Yeah.
And nothing that really builds wealth over time.
Yeah.
Like on the Jay-Z song, the story of OJ. He was talking about some real stuff. When he was talking about investing in like a painting that will accumulate wealth over time.
Yeah.
As opposed to a car that depreciates in value as soon as you pull it off the lot.
True.
You know, but we definitely, because when it comes to home ownership, it also leads to a more positive outlook for younger kids to aspire to something. Like when they get older, they want to buy a house. You know what I'm saying? And like keep that dream alive. Because some people get an apartment and just get comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like nobody really aspires to take that next level and go out and own, you know what I'm saying? Own a home. You know, I mean, I didn't want to cut you off when you were starting, but that's just my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that also need to be stated is like the loans, bro. I mean, man, I didn't know what's wrong.
I'm good.
Oh, God, I thought you be doing these hand gestures. I'm like, okay,
No,
what you trying to tell me? The loan, I just found out like about like different type of tax exemptions I could be taking advantage of. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I got like a whole what do you call that? Reimbursement for all the extra money that I was spending over the years. So that was like a big help for me. But yeah, like there's a bunch of loans that Americans can like take full advantage of, grants and I mean some grants and other situations like business grants and stuff like that. But you just be aware of all that's on the table for us to take advantage of. And everybody just like, oh man, they say they tried and then they gave up because things didn't turn out their way. Well, maybe you should go back in there with a renewed understanding of what's made available for you to take full advantage of. Yeah. These loans included.
Yeah, reach out, see what homeowner workshops they got, because I hear some of them they offer first time home buyers up to like what $10,000. Like they help you with down payments on getting a house.
Ain't that crazy?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got help out here. You just got to know. You know what I'm saying? You just got to reach out and know where to find it.
Yeah, and like he mentioned, avoiding predatory loans is like that. This stuff that like, bro, we in the age of information. This stuff is a lot easier these days. You can. I would argue that typing what's a fair APR for a home loan. Like start off with that. Just understand mind you, for your area, there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of things that kind of go along with that. The point I'm making is understand this. Like there's a goal here. You know what I'm saying? That you can aspire to, or just understand where what your target should be. And then if how do I put this? If the lender is not meeting that APR rate, ask them why. Ask them maybe even ask them what kind of credit score should you be moving towards in order to get a fair APR rate. You know what I mean? So like I said, that's kind of how. Just obviously you build your credit and stuff like that if that's the route you want to go about it. And then I think that should take care of that.
Absolutely.
We need to teach our people to turn housing into equity. Number 5, practice group economics. Consciously support Black-owned businesses, Black banks, and Black credit unions. Keep our dollars circulating in our own neighborhoods. And one of the most important, but perhaps the most overlooked.
Okay. Yeah, I was making sure he was on it. This right here, Powernomics, the national plan I was supposed to go back to that last video. Powernomics, the national plans of power Black America. I'm gonna be advertising this book as often as I can. Even though it's on the older side, and some of these strategies are of yesteryear, a lot of these things can still be implemented. There's still great ideas in that book by Dr. Claude Anderson. He talks ad nauseum about group economics, the skill or the mindset of ethno aggregation within within America. You know what I'm saying? So just like I said, move with your people. It's simply what it is. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be criticizing these types of strategies because they think it's quite exclusive. Here's the problem, okay? The title of this video, if y'all haven't read about it now, is Black wealth is going to reduce to 0% by 2053. Okay, this is something that we need to be worried about. Okay, and how else can I explain this? If the government is not going to care, if conservative white folk not going to care, if Trump voting Latinos not going to care, if Asians that are angry over the race admissions in colleges, if they not gonna care, then it sounds like we have to care ourselves. You know what I mean? Yep. So just like as far as all these haters and stuff like that, that's mad about you finally fixing our community because all of our problems are tethered to money and wealth. Listen. We got no time. We have no time for critics. We have no time for critics that lack nuance. You feel me? So
keep our dollars circulating in our own neighborhoods. And one of the most important, but perhaps the most overlooked tool is life insurance. Only 56% of Black Americans have it, compared to 68% of white Americans. And many of those policies are underfunded. That is a missed opportunity on a massive scale. For example, a healthy 30-year-old can buy a $500,000 policy for less than $50 a month. That payout could pay off mortgages, wipe out debt, fund college, or seed a family business. Without it, families are left with funeral costs, medical bills, and estate taxes that erase whatever little wealth existed. Life insurance must become a standard part of every Black household's financial plan, not just for survival, but as a wealth-building tool. And
any idea? Any opinions on life insurance?
No, I mean, Buddy cooking right now, yo. I ain't gonna lie. He's telling the truth. Like, that's one thing that we definitely need in the Black community. More health insurance, more life insurance. Like, it's so important because without health insurance, we get sick so often. And without health insurance, we scared to go to the hospital. We're scared to go to the doctor because we're afraid to see that bill. For real. That's what it is when it comes down to us going to the doctor. We don't want to see that bill. If we ain't have to see that bill, we go to the doctor every time we had a sneeze or a cough. We go anytime. But, well, also the fear of bad news, but that's another story. But life insurance, like if something, because, I mean, nobody ever knows what's going to happen when we leave out of that door. You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid we get into an accident or a gas pump should blow up at a gas station. God forbid, you know what I'm saying? But we should always be covered just in case. You know, I feel like that just in case is something that is stressed living in this country, but I don't feel like it's really stressed enough, for real.
True. So I want to show y'all something about especially life insurance. This is something that I learned from Waka Flocka Flame, actually. Yes, the accredited in intellectual geometry degree wielding Waka Flocka Flame told me one of the most important things. You can borrow against the accumulated cash. Yeah, it's showing. You can borrow against the accumulated cash value of a permanent life insurance policy, such as a whole life insurance, which serves as collateral for the loan, eliminating the need for a credit check. To do this, contact your insurance provider, who will outline the loan amount available, typically a percentage of the policy's cash value. You can then repay the loan and interest at your own pace, but failure to repay could lead to reduced death benefits, lower policy value, or even policy cancellation. and how it works. So check your policy, confirm that you have a permanent life insurance policy like whole life that has accumulated cash value. Term life insurance policies do not have a cash value and cannot be used for loans. Contact your insurer, which is kind of self-explanatory. Determine loan amount. The insurer will inform you of the maximum loan amount you can take based on the cash value your policy has accrued. Repay the loan. The loan is typically repaid with interest, and you can often set your own repayment timeline. Pros: no cash, no credit check. A life insurance loan doesn't require a credit check, making it a viable option for those with limited credit history. Tax benefits: the money you borrow is usually not subject to income tax. Flexible repayment: you can often repay the loan at your own speed without strict deadlines. No collateral risk. Unlike loans secured by assets like a house, your life insurance cash value serves as collateral, so your other assets are not at risk. Cons: reduced death benefits. If you don't repay the loan before your death, the outstanding loan balance will increase, will be deducted. The outstanding loan balance and interest will be deducted from the death benefit paid to your beneficiaries upon your departure. Policy cancellation risk: if the loan balance plus interest grows too large, it can deplete the policy's cash value, potentially leading to a policy lapse and cancellation. Interest, and that also means a lot of money the money you put in is no longer refunded to you. It won't be refunded to you. Interest accumulation: the insurance company charges interest on the loan, which increases the total amount you owe over time. Depleted cash value taken out of loan reduces the amount of cash value in your policy, which could affect your policy's ability to grow. So, pros and cons obviously, but just pay it on time. If you pay it on time, you for the most part be okay. And whatever like big endeavors that you have that you want to partake in now, that's something that you can use before going to any other loan shark or bank, or for that matter that you have to deal with some sort of outrageous APR rate. This is a viable option for anybody that has aspirations. One more thing, before I lose my train of thought. So if you have a policy for, like, as we read earlier, $500,000, dude, like, there's so much money. So there's so much you can do with something, with like $100,000, $200,000. Especially if something that you only have to pay $50 a week on, or $50 a month on. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it's good to know, but with that information falling into the wrong hands, well, let's just say, I guess the people who don't have life insurance, because a lot of people get into debt real easily.
True.
And if they have a life insurance policy and they know they can get money from it, you're gonna see a lot of that becoming more of a common occurrence. And with that, it depletes the policy. The beneficiaries could not get anything, or the policy could be canceled completely. It's so much that goes into the negative in it. A person with a gambling problem or somebody with a money issue, like, they won't care about that.
Yeah. Safe to say you gotta do a little bit of soul searching. Learn some discipline before you take advantage of things like this. I don't know. What else can I say? It's like, I wish I can disagree with you, but it's like, I know I can't, like, project my my values and my discipline onto other people. Like, that's just not, that won't make any sense.
I mean, me personally, like I was saying, like, that's good information to know, but I'm not gonna take advantage of that. I'm just gonna pay on my stuff and let it be what it is. If something should happen to me, I want my people to get paid in full, so everything can get taken care of. I don't want no embarrassing debts to come up. Somebody find a health insurance policy, life insurance. Oh, Lord, ain't nothing. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all got a whole funeral to pay for. Got to bury you. G. Like, they going to have to cremate you. That's crazy. Like, I mean,
See, that's why I got you around, because I wouldn't even. Yeah, that is very. Everything you just said is extremely important. I'm just like, wait, damn, I low key would not have remembered to say that. So yeah, oh man, yeah. Please don't. That'd be so sad if somebody hit my email talking about, yeah, I just I effed off the whole 500 stacks.
the whole 500K, bro.
Oh man. Okay.
I went to Vegas.
Ain't
Lost it
thought he
all.
could flip it. Ugh.
Tried
Anyway,
to flip it in Vegas.
let's go, man.
Finally, we must protect progress with smart policies, support refundable tax credits, enforce fair lending laws, defend anti-poverty programs proven to work, teach financial literacy in schools so every young person understands credit, investing, and insurance. And lastly, ensure Black women, who have the highest labor force participation among women, have targeted support for stable, high-quality jobs. This is a call to action.
What do you think about that one, about the ladies? Inspire them to keep get good jobs.
I feel like shit. I mean, you on point. They need that proper support
Yeah.
because they don't. A lot of women, like, cause I work with all women, and like the front office, they have so much work on their hands and not enough support. You know what I'm saying? So like, how they supposed to keep these students, like registration, like keep everything going for communication between the school and the state when they don't even have proper support? Like, we got to do these trainings and all this stuff, and they want us to stay on top of everything. It's crazy, man. Shout out to the ladies that do their job, though, man. Y'all do it well.
Yeah. Like I said, in our position, man, is just we're the culture that's so far behind that we just need we need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
So I mean, for those individuals that can make a way for like more of a nuclear, like traditional framework, that's fine. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like if you want to make this, if you truly want us to, how do I put this, to turn this all around, that means it's bigger than your household now. Yeah. It's now bigger than your household, and whatever that means to you, I'm gonna let y'all kind of decide. But just understand that you're gonna hear a lot of this from me and my channel. So
The future is at stake. Wealth is collapsing, marriage is shifting, families are under strain. But projections are not destiny, they are warnings. If we embrace the tangible solutions, targeted careers, fair pay, entrepreneurship, home ownership, group economics, life insurance, and if we confront marriage realities with honesty and courage, then we can still build wealth, still build families, and still secure a future. But before I go, let me address the lies directly. When people say Black men marry outside of their race because we...
All right, we ain't getting into that. but yes, I appreciate you, Medium Man, for that very well thought out solution crafting for Black Americans. This stuff, I really think this message should really go far. I truly believe that. But otherwise, yeah, overall, I think I do think he was cooking. I think everything he said is just the path of. I mean, for the most part, a lot of the stuff that Dr. Clyde Anderson spoke of in Poweronomics. I still recommend y'all, read this book because there's some other things that he had mentioned there as well. And we'll talk about those things in the future. But yeah, I think I definitely, while, going through YouTube, I feel like this is one of his most important, one of the most important messages he's ever shared in his YouTube career, in my humble opinion. So, would you any last thoughts?
I really want to see like his process to editing his videos, because I seen like the little. See, I thought it was like a little wine cooler thing in the back, the little thing with the little bottles. I don't know what the hell it is.
All right.
But they were spinning right here, right? So while he was talking, I seen like it would just jump. So like, I'm like, oh, he cutting this. Okay. But no, like he make a lot of valid points though, and I think that people should definitely take advantage of financial literacy. I feel like it should definitely be taught in schools. It actually makes me grateful for my school getting me started. Like, just a quick little story. My after school program, when I was in like 8th grade, they introduced us to like this little point system. And with our points, they gave us like a little checkbook. So like we, you know what I'm saying, we get X amount of points for what we do in the program, and we can buy little prizes, little rewards for it. So I mean, and you have to be responsible with your points because I mean that's money. So it's like just little things like that getting us started. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it should have been like way before then. I see, like I work in a preschool now, and like they have like a cash register in the classroom, little play money. I feel like if teachers like took a, it's just preschool, so I mean we ain't finna break down like the whole economic system to 3, 4 year olds, but getting them started in like first grade, I would say first grade, second grade, third grade. You know what I'm saying? Like getting them started for real, so they know by the time they're in high school. I feel like you probably would see an increase on financial literacy in this country.
True. That's yeah. It being taught in schools will be incredible. What a start though. So this is something I do also want to mention. Much like what's happening with Black History, what's going to happen with CRT, what's happening with what happened with the Smithsonian. There's a whitewashing in history right now,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So parents need to be aware that there's going to be a lot of misinformation being shared to their kids. I mean, people thought like the whole woke thing with the LGBT stuff like you thought that was bad. Imagine your kids not knowing. This is a scenario. Imagine your child coming home and telling you a black family that slavery wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up that PragerU thing.
And PragerU is replacing PBS.
That's insanity, bro. That's so crazy because like I watched that. I had to watch it a few times because I'm like, is this even real? Like, how are they gonna have this Christopher Columbus dude talking about some slavery wasn't that bad? No, like really? Like, hold on now. What they teaching the kids,
Bro, they talking about some. At least they not dead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that says, and you know what speaks even louder, when there were slaves who chose death over slavery.
So, yeah, but that aside, right? That's a whole nother conversation.
Like it could get deep on this shit. Like when it comes to slavery in America, don't trivialize us, bro. Like don't do that to us, cause like it gets deep. Yeah. It gets real deep. Don't just put that shit in a cartoon. Think it's cool. Like nah, it gets deep, bro.
And then put a black face and put a black face in front of the camera talking about, oh, I'm a black person. I'm saying this. And then that's how they do. They look, see, that's a black person. He's saying all of that stuff. It must be true. You know what I mean?
I spit on that.
So that's kind of like, so yeah. But that aside, much like the whitewashing of history. You know what I'm saying, and especially chattel slavery here in America. There can be parents need to expect that there may never be a situation where we'll get financial literacy taught in schools. So it's just going to be up to us to have those conversations with our kids about financial literacy. Maybe even maybe there's like a workbook or something like that, some kind of a thing that kids can like do like easy math equations and math problems and maybe color or something like that, make it fun. But like just keep them engaged with the financial literacy type games keep them engaged with financial literacy with like games and conversations, so that it essentially becomes a part of their culture. You feel me? Black Americans, we need to make some decisions, right? The way we can go about redirecting our culture from it being what it is today, and that's whatever you want to call it, right? The way we go about pivoting it from where it is today into a culture of affluency, elites, educated, so on and so forth. Yeah, this is how you do it. It's by getting them while they're young.
You gotta raise them up for real, cause like we see how they doing it in China. Like they starting these kids young, bro.
Bro, you know what they TikTok look like over there? You know what the TikTok algorithm is like in China? They are being force fed good information. You feel me? So that's how we go about like turning it around. But all right, so I mean, yeah, that's been Media Man with some over here cooking. Now, like I said, he was about to go into that little red pill shit. You know what I mean? But you know, you did good, Media Man. So you know, hey,
it's like he just. No,
I know, no, we are not.
Stop it right there.
We listen. We appreciate the black woman over here. We don't, you know, and I don't remember what he's gonna say next. I'm pretty sure he advocates for black love. Let's just put that out there first. Yeah. He's just saying like there's a population of black women. Not finna specify any numbers, but he said there's some knuckleheads out there, and there are some knuckleheads out there. There's some knucklehead guys too. Okay, so we trying to be fair here, but
yeah, we be fair.
You know what I'm saying, but. As far as what was presented in front of us, I wanted a specific message to be parlayed and reverberated throughout the interwebs. Right? Any final things to say?
I was just gonna say one more thing about the financial literacy.
For sure.
You see, like with the culture, getting money is the culture. You know what I'm saying? We're teaching these kids younger and younger, getting money is what you do. So you see little 3-4-year-olds. Now, I don't advocate flossing because, I mean, you're just making yourself a target. But I'm seeing 3-4-year-olds acting like these rappers. They want to do a money spread. They got a stack of money. They spread it up their arm, act like they getting money. Teach them how to get that money first. Other than that, you're giving them the wrong idea. Like they got to hustle the wrong way for their money. Like you gotta hustle in life, but you ain't gotta hustle the wrong way. But just teach them right young, so when they get older, things click easier. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta be struggling to tell them what's the right way to get money the wrong way. Like they gonna know it's better to get money legally than illegally because you ain't gotta worry about the police getting on your back. You just gotta pay taxes. And that, I mean, that's a whole nother thing in itself because the government, that's a gang. They raping our pockets for real. I can't say that on YouTube. But they taking advantage of our pockets. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, teach the kids young so by the time they get in high school, economics class is a breeze. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy. That's it.
All right. It's been Chicago Black Legacy Podcast. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace.
Kings. Okay, so all right, so let's read some of these messages. Ocean Winter, you can't always depend on schools alone to prepare you for financial success. Absolutely true. That's why it's also up to parents and families to pass down real financial knowledge and habits. Absolutely. Yeah, I believe financial literacy should be taught in schools, but the public school system is only going to teach certain things. Absolutely. Zero Pro says, yes, you should be having financial literacy conversations with your children. Yes, you should be having financial literacy conversations with your children. And he further said, I don't know. Okay, I don't know why I did that. You can get those classes on PragerU. Relax, bro. We don't listen. I'm not giving PragerU a red fucking cents. I'm letting my kid's gonna go to damn, what was that commercial with the dude that nigga said, what is you doing? You on that couch doing nothing. Oh, yeah. You could be going to Everest College. You could be. I forgot how that shit went. I might throw it. But yeah, man. Yeah, like listen, you can. There's some econ classes. You can take in these other schools outside of PragerU, bro. But yeah, facts. I'm glad we agree that I'm glad we agree on some things, my friend. Okay, that's everything. So let's get into the last segment so we can skedaddle. Okay, this is the one that's gonna piss people off. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. What's up, everybody? Wow. Okay. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Corner Show with me, Howard Think. I'm joined with my host,
Jay Rashid.
on the Chicago Black Michigan YouTube channel, and we are going to be discussing our mayor today, just a little bit, not a lot, because there's a lot to discuss, and I kind of want to keep this one on the shorter end. But there's like my mayor is he looking like they got him looking like Tiffany Herron out here. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see my man go out like that because there's been lofty promises made by him, and I want to see them all come to Chicago. You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's been some criticism regarding the spending. I mean, he's been criticized about this for like quite a while. You know, this undocumented immigrant spending. And the opinions about it, they spiral out of control on the internet, like wildly spiraling out of control. What's some of your quick thoughts regarding this, specifically the spending of the illegal or undocumented immigrants? I'm trying to use the PC language here.
Now, I mean, we've covered it before when we was talking about Tiffany Henyard. I mean, I'm all for, you know what I'm saying, like people seeking asylum to, you know what I'm saying, get their accommodations. But when it comes to Chicago, I mean, this is just from me living here personally. We have neighborhoods that need investing. It's, you know what I'm saying, we need money going into our communities. So for y'all to take on the world's problems and get the money for that and send it to them, it's like, well, what about us? So, you know, like, we don't want to hate on the next man, but what about us? And that's not an invalid question. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when it comes to that spending, I mean, yeah, he should be held accountable for it. But, I mean, of course, they're going to try to weaponize it against them. Like the red shirts.
So, yeah. I agree, man. Like the communities, how do I put this? Invest in like the funding into like the communities, especially the problematic communities, is how it's how we, I believe, truly solve crime at the root. You know what I mean? And like people, and also in my opinion, this is just where people just like defer, in opinion. This is what like this is just the fork in the road essentially. When you finally address, I'm sorry, when you put in invest, when you invest into the community, instead of like empowering the wealthy will still benefit from that. You know what I mean? And they'll benefit from that in a myriad of ways. Give these kids opportunities instead of like bleakness, instead of idle time. What's the word? What's that word when chaperone?
Unsupervised.
Unsupervised, yeah. Unsupervised time and stuff like that. Like when you give these kids, something to do, something that's been tailored by mature adults, then that's when you start. I mean, that is a method of watching crime go down. But not only will crime go down, when you implement these systems into like business, that's when you have jobs. That's when these business owners have like workers, right? Instead of looters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's that's some of the things we've seen from Brandon Johnson, like and the summer job program and stuff like that. So it's like there's like, look, man, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I know everybody want to see Brandon Johnson just submit and accept all of these National Guards and stuff like that. I get you. But like, again, I believe there's still more than one way to skin the cat, and I'm willing to watch the way this plays out because we've seen how the forceful and fearful way play out over how many years, how many generations, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, that's just kind of where I'm at with his overall, work. But it'll be more on that a little bit later. But regarding like specifically the migrant situation, the immigrant, the undocumented, immigrant situation, there's a lot of damn money. We talking like we almost $700 million. Like let's be real. That's a lot of money that could be invested into our communities. Or other communities or other citizens, Chicago citizens, stuff like that. We get it.
Invest that in the schools.
The schools need a lot of money right now. We get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's a long story to tell as far as how these people got here.
Yeah.
It doesn't start with Texas. You know what I'm saying? It don't start with that border. But we're not gonna go into all that today, right? But we're gonna just kind of, we're gonna address like what the opinions are of the people in Chicago that have not done the further research, right? That took the surface level understanding of the situation and go and decide to be reactionary rather than inquisitive. So, let's turn over to the screen. So, Chicago residents tell Donald Trump to go after Mayor Brandon Johnson for spending $638.7 million on migrants. Let's go ahead and read what Dom is Live News says. Chicago residents have asked Trump to go after Mayor Johnson for spending $638.7 million on migrants. Chicago spending of over $638.7 million on migrant services since August 2022, including $51 million in May 2023 and $70 million in April 2024 for shelters, rental assistance, and other support, has deepened tensions amid a significant budget deficit. The city faces a projected $982.4 million shortfall for 2025, with migrant care costs contributing significantly. So there's some things that people should know, and there's more as well. I'm not going to go over everything, but a part of that spending was money allocated to Chicago to address this from Joe Biden. Like there was a response package from Joe Biden for these immigrants. Undocumented immigrants. I'm so sorry. But he did go into that COVID relief fund, and that was a very questionable act from him, right? But I'm just saying, like, a lot of this money was not already in circulation prior to, this. Prior to, I'm sorry. A lot of this money that's been spent on these why am I? Well,
tongue tie,
I got so much editing to do. A lot of the money that's been spent for these individuals, it didn't come at the expense of the taxpayers. But of course, a lot has anyway. So I'm just understand that I need people to understand that there's some distinctions to account for. But other than that, and furthermore, there was also if I recall correctly, Brandon Johnson said in the interview, and I'm gonna play the video at a later date, but like he also stated that he expected some additional funding from the federal government, with these people, with these influx of people coming in, citing the response from the Ukrainians that came in through asylum, right? And that's what is kind of how can I put this? Like him understanding this to be a welcoming city, him understanding the asylum laws, him understanding like him committing to the sanctuary cities. It allowed for those Ukrainians to find refuge in Chicago, and Chicago was given dividends for that, right? To help accommodate, to help house those people. I guess again he expected some sort of a similar response in an equitable manner, right? Because it's obviously more of the undocumented immigrants that came in from from the border in comparison to the Ukrainians. He expected like some sort of a maybe a different fund. I would imagine, but just didn't come, right? So now he's kind of left with a situation of what the fuck can I do to keep Chicago safe, safe and developing, the most, I think he's quoted to say, the most affordable big city in America, probably in the world actually, and keep these people, keep this influx of undocumented immigrants safe, right, and healthy. It's a wild endeavor, like needless to say. But other than that, let's kind of see what the community response has been, again, without that all that nuance. Uh-oh. She keeps Chicago right here. Here she is.
Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first.
Chicago residents' outrage over the city's sanctuary policies erupted at a city council meeting yesterday. They gave Mayor Brandon Johnson and Chicago Democrats an earful for prioritizing illegal immigrants over struggling Americans, and rooted for, listen to this, President-elect Trump.
So, Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right? You all stood up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that, on illegals. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first.
Chicago residents' outrage over the city's sanctuary policies erupted at a city council meeting yesterday. They gave Mayor Brandon Johnson.
The people in
Trump.
Chicago.
Okay, so so what do you think about that woman representative of the Flip Chicago Red movement in Chicago?
I wonder what did she say. Did she say get this nigga here or get this mother? Like, did she say? I'm wondering what she said, because like for real, like there's so much ignorance in her voice. There's so much ignorance in her tone. Like she's read up on the numbers. I don't know where she got the numbers from. I mean, even if she's telling the truth, she just seemed like she's just there to make some noise, cause some disruption. Because she could have been a little bit more respectable than that. I ain't gonna lie, she was kind of out of line. Not really showing the most class, as opposed to someone who wants to be taken serious, for real. Because like, you can't just be a yelling fool and expect to be taken serious.
Especially in like a place of some level of sanctity, such as the town hall meeting.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not what you do. Like, when you're getting loud, it doesn't work well. Like, you can just communicate your point and leave it at that. Drop Mike's moment. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, 600 million almost 650 million on that. That's a crazy number, for real. But I kind of feel like she was a plant.
Damn. Oh man, y'all be sniffing these plants out, man. I don't be catching it most of the time. But yeah, go ahead.
Because a lot of these events are like, they like if you follow up on that stuff, you know where it's at. So I mean, all it takes is for like one person, a Trump supporter, to be like, oh, this is what they're gonna be. They could plan a protest, like how we be planning a protest at Donald Trump stuff. They could do the same thing. So that's what I feel like it was. That's honestly what I feel like it was.
Oh man, gotcha. Yeah, I can't defend that. I mean, I can't disagree with that. I mean, it'd be great if I could, but like, it just seemed a little bit too. It seemed a little bit too convenient. It's for me, at the very least. Mind you, that's a relatively older video, and these people made like a lot of noise last year before the election. And the important thing to note is, despite all this noise they made, Illinois still awarded Kamala Harris the full 16 electoral votes. You know what I'm saying? So So like this stuff, these people like don't matter, right? I don't think they're gonna matter in the midterm either. They can do all the hooting, hollering, all that they want. Nothing's gonna really change.
Trump is, as far as he can try, he's gonna make them matter because those are his black voices. So while we sit up here saying what he's doing has racist tendencies and he feels like this, that, and the third, they're the ones that's trying to disprove us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with us talking about, oh man, Trump's gonna bring out the National Guard, send them to the hood. They're gonna be on this, that, and the third. They the ones that's gonna be begging him to send them out there. They want him to get Brandon Johnson first. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shoot, man, you see how they coming, you know, and they gonna get louder and louder. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these women, they going crazy. Just it speaks to those who really don't have a voice in this shit. They want to be a voice for those who don't have a voice in this stuff, but they don't understand that their voice is irrelevant too. It's just giving him fuel to be like, see, I have black constituents. Them right there.
Look at my African American friend over there.
Look at my black friend right there.
Yeah.
So black. Look at you with your black ass.
Yeah.
Like, come on now, get the hell out of here. Like I feel like that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I love when Trump says stuff like that. It just tickles me to my fucking core. Like, look at you. So I love this guy. He'll promote this book like, Powernomics. It's a good book. Claude Anderson, love this guy.
Yeah, man.
He's so full of shit, bro. He's so like, when you just think of old
boomers,
old white man, and like a boomer type stuff. Like, look, and when you somebody put his voice in like a middle schooler's voice, and you really like, you could really hear the New York in there. Like that boy's a New Yorker for real. But I'm not finna sit up here and talk about the entertaining. Like fuck Trump, but it'd be some stuff that's hilarious though.
All right, let's get this next little video.
Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, "Please, President Trump, come to Chicago."
I just ruined it down.
Oh God!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, look at this African American lady. She's so beautiful.
The beautiful black ladies. Like he almost talks like Dr. Evil a little bit. Like, it's hilarious. The beautiful black ladies. They have my back in Chicago. Like you a fucking asshole.
Crazy.
Please, I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago.
He did great with the black vote. Like, do you know what great with the? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means for?
I did great with the black votes.
Great with the black vote. Like you still got like 92% of black women voting Kamala, and like still like I think around 82% or something like that of black men voted Kamala. Like, okay, you call that great, my nigga, just because you did better than your first term or your whatever, bro.
This all falls into me saying he loves to hear himself talk. Like
Yeah.
he knows like a lot of he's saying is BS. He probably JD, I'm willing to bet JD just whispered those little factoids to him right before the camera started rolling. Hey Trump, you know you got these women in Chicago. They're all for you, man. Go ahead, check them out. He showed him a little video. So
all right.
Yeah, and as soon as the camera, you know, we got these beautiful black ladies, beautiful black. Like, come on, bro.
That shit is insane to me
Like,
too.
kick rocks, dude. Like, nobody wants you here, bro. Like,
Let's keep going, man.
Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with. And I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they're including the people in this audience. They'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, "Thank God he's here," because half of them got mugged. The people in Chicago.
Half of them got mugged, huh? Is that true, Donald?
bro, like I'm like the whole scene is just killing. Like the hat. Like he's such a like his head is so far up his own ass.
You said the hat is up his ass.
No, his head is so far up his own ass. Like look at his hat. Trump was right about everything. He got both numbers. like, was it 46 at 47 or 45, 47? I don't remember. Like his head is so far up his own ass. He just loves to hear himself talk. It just makes me like, is this real? Am I really alive right now? Like, what a time to be alive, to see a president like this.
Oh man, he's definitely like the reality show president for sure. I mean, that's why people like him so much. It's just the bravado is just it's so much. It's too much for him. But I mean, when you actually, I don't know, like mature a little bit as far as your political literacy, you'll know that bravado is just that's like.
It's definitely a facade.
It's like not something that you're supposed to like base your vote off of.
No, because it's just a facade. Like he got that bravado to cover for something else.
Yeah.
South Park. If y'all been watching South Park,
yeah. Whoo boy, yikes!
They've been hitting that man nonstop, nails on the head. That's that. Man.
It wasn't just that. It was just that one episode, right?
Hell no, the whole season so far is dedicated to Trump.
Are you serious?
Yes, I love it.
Oh hell no, they crazy.
I'm loving it.
Oh boy! All right, we'll see how that develops. Then all right, let's get to this next last part.
Tom Holman, make an example out this right.
Wait, it's the same thing,
here
right?
first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you.
This nigga done.
We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second, stop her time.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
Here you are with another gritty property tax hike, trying to push the have-nots to house your precious illegal immigrants. You told Trump you ain't gonna blink? Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law, and where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you? I will make it my duty to try to get my gun to perform an Operation Great Lord 2.0 in Chicago and lock all of you crooked Democrats and judges up, and it's just like that.
Goes Trump.
Yeah, so if I recall correctly, these are like relatively old town hall meetings, really, because at the very least, I can tell you that if it is true, then that one woman would have been inaccurate to say that Brandon Johnson has done nothing for Chicago's residents, especially the black population. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we never brought into question he's done nothing. It's just it can always be more that can be done when you guys that much money going into a problem that's really not ours.
Yeah, you know, how do I put this? That would have been a fair critique. You know what I'm saying? But just the lady did say nothing. So and then we have to, you know, the research to prove that it wasn't just nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I asked our friend Google, what has Brandon Johnson done? How has Brandon Johnson assisted Black Americans? So reparations in June of 2024, Brandon Johnson signed an executive order to create a Black reparations task force. Housing and economic development, recognizing that Black Chicagoans disproportionately face homelessness and housing insecurity. Johnson has dedicated significant resources to increasing affordability and opportunity in underserved communities. That's especially the Chicago South and West Sides. Affordable housing bonds. Johnson administration passed a $1.25 billion housing and economic development bond, the largest public investment in kind in Chicago's history. It includes $600 million for housing and affordable rent. Green social housing. The city council passed an ordinance to create green social housing, a model that uses a revolving loan fund, develop mixed income, permanently affordable, and environmentally sustainable housing. Homelessness reduction. His budget dedicated $250 million to combat homelessness, which disproportionately affects Black residents. If I recall correctly, roughly 70% of Chicago's residents is Black American. You know what I'm saying? So, neighborhood investments, business support grants. This is actually an important one. I actually was covering this the other day. Johnson has awarded grants through the Neighborhood Business Development Center, NBDC programs to support entrepreneurs and small business in every ward, providing resources and assistance for economic growth. Every Black, anybody for that matter, any Chicagoan watching this program right now, y'all need to take advantage of this. Like, you have to take advantage of this. This
Absolutely.
is we have entrepreneurs all over the city of all nationalities, all ethnicities. Take advantage of this program. It will deplete after a few years, if I recall correctly. Seriously. But yeah, community wealth building. In June 2025, the city announced a $4.11 million investment into WOW capital grant program to provide grants and coaching for commercial and shared ownership models in communities impacted by this investment. So this is something that's specifically for Chicago, for residents of Chicago, South and West Sides, which is predominantly, Black Americans, Black and brown as well. Your investment in education, Johnson, a former Chicago public school teacher, has pursued policies that address systemic issues in education and create opportunities for young people, as in youth employment. Black Student Achievement Committee, which is a program in the Chicago School Board, launched a committee to focus on closing disparities for Black students who make up roughly 1/3 of the district's student body. School choice moratorium, which is something that the Republicans love to talk about, school choice. Black Student Success Plan. Chicago Public Schools established a plan to increase Black teacher hiring, reduce suspensions, and promote the teaching of Black history. This initiative has prompted an investigation by the federal government under the Trump administration, which Johnson has publicly opposed. So woke history. Don't want to teach no DI history in these schools. Brandon Johnson is opposed to that, to these advancements, these discrepancies from Donald Trump. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean?
Gotta support that, man, because like with Donald Trump actively trying to erase our history or promoting, like, because honestly, as a Black youth, I'm not young anymore. I mean, I'm still relatively young, but for the kids coming up, they need to know what our people been through. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, to cut that off is allowing kids to grow up in that ignorance. Like, we've seen kids who grew up who knew nothing about slavery, and the ignorance was astounding. So to close out that is depriving generations of that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, you got a generation of kids about to come up and not know a damn thing about slavery. So they're gonna be looking at us, or people who do talk about it, confused, like, hit them with that Tim Allen. Like, come on now, like, what y'all on? Like, you can't erase our history. You gotta keep it going. Like, what about Marley say? To know your future, you can't forget your past.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta keep it going, bro. So I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing I gotta support him on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to me, man. Should be like very plain for everybody to understand at this point. Policing and criminal justice reform, like consent decree, the extremist task force, non-police crisis response, the missing persons initiative. Like, bro, these are things that Chicagoans deserve. You know what I mean? And he advocates for it. He makes sure this stuff is still in place. I don't know what else y'all need to see. I don't know what else like we have to show you to get you understand that Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson is a boom to the city of Chicago. And then that the main criticism everybody seems to have against him is this budgeting that is, especially, how do I put this budgeting situation that is directly linked to the immigrant thing. I like the illegal undocumented immigrant thing. Like we get it. Like it's a tough situation. It's a very tumultuous, like it's a scary time for Chicagoans for sure. Yeah, but this is, people just can't forget that this is this situation was inherited. That what happened. That budget, again, we said it multiple times already. Like that 300. That 600 or nearly $700 million spending on undocumented immigrants, that makes up 1% of Chicago's budget. There's 90. What that's like. You got 99 problems, right? You got 99 problems, and that's just one. So like people need to like kind of get with the program and add some nuance to like these discussions, so we kind of like understand better that this is just one problem of a big a shit show of a situation.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of decisions that was made before Brandon Johnson took office.
Oh yeah,
right, and then Brandon Johnson within the context of a non excuse me within the context of a Chicago that did not have an influx of undocumented immigrants, he made a lot of promises to Chicagoans, and he wants to see those promises actuated. Last thing any politician wants is to make promises and be caught out for not being able not upholding those promises. I don't know what to say, man. Like, and I guess the last thing I would say to this is, regardless, like this undocumented immigrant situation, bro. Again, that is a long conversation that started long before the border situation, and those things need to be researched by people before they criticize Brandon Johnson for him making the decision that he's been making regarding this situation.
I mean, when it comes to being the mayor, especially in Chicago, like we haven't had like a long-term mayor since Richard Daley. So like we've had people come in and out of office, and like honestly, they trying to fix some problems, but they create new ones.
Yeah.
So really, for the last however many years it's been since Richard Daley, like it's just been mayor after mayor inheriting the last one's problems.
Yeah.
So by the time we got by the time we got Brandon Johnson, he just got Lori Lightfoot's dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Basically. You know, so her leftovers.
Yeah.
So he got to clean that up and make way for what he's trying to bring in. So I mean, it's only so much one person could do in 4 years. Unless he gets elected for a second term. I mean, and you know, I mean, Chicago mayors, they can have multiple terms, but I mean, let's just be realistic. We can't really see people running consecutive terms like Daley.
Yeah.
Not in today's day. Like, people vote. We got new people coming in, new people coming up, and people want to vote for them. So like that's why we haven't really had like a steady mayor, you know what I'm saying, since then. But it's only so much a person can do in 4 years, you know?
Yeah. I mean, turning water to wine, like that's jobs for Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So yeah, man. You got any last things to say?
Nah, man, shit. God save the city of Chicago. God save the people. God save the mayor, because he got a battle ahead of him.
Yeah. So currently he's sitting around a 20-ish approval rating. That's a big climb up from about 6%. Yeah. I think Brandon Johnson doing the best he can, honestly, and I actually support him. It's just that things are very, very complicated right now.
Yeah,
I do want to see him make better decisions in the future, but I do do appreciate that he is investing the most in Chicago's South and West Sides since Harold Washington, and that says a lot. So. Yeah. Anyway, well, we'll catch you on the flip side, man. It's been Chicago Black Nation.
Peace.
Out. Okay. So, all right, that was the last segment, everybody. We appreciate y'all sticking through with us. We had some pretty decent numbers. Had a lot of comments. That was a big help. Thanks for the likes. The only thing, what's next for me? I'm gonna get these videos up and chopped up, sent out, and all that good stuff. I got some interesting content regarding dating apps from the perspective of a black man seeking a black woman. I think y'all gonna like that a little bit. I also have another I have another style of videos kind of coming out that's gonna be more documentary or essay-ish type, where I'm gonna be kind of discussing like individuals important individuals that I feel like Black Americans should like kind of never forget. In the world that should never forget, and people that we got to just continue to kind of talk about. And I also will be hopping on different channels, different people's YouTube like lives and stuff like that, and having conversations with them and stuff like that. Preferably Black conservatives. So if you guys know any Black conservatives that do live call-ins or they do panels or something like that, let me know. I want to kind of check out on that. If there was enough time in the day, I'll be hopping in these red pill channels and discussing. I'm just basically trying to revitalize the value of Black women, because those red pill spaces have seemed to have forgotten just how beneficial and how supportive, how loyal Black women have been towards the Black community. 99% of the women in our family is Black, and I would never in a day think about betraying with everything that they are. I mean, they've done too much for us for me to try to insinuate Black women being valueless in our culture.
No doubt.
So, what you got going on, Jay?
Oh man, so yeah, I was just talking about the Black Party 2300 Jackson Street. So I got that video. It's gonna be coming up in the next week. I'm also working on like a documentary type of behind the scenes type video. We had a show with Jason Warrior at the theater in early August. He put on a spectacular performance, and I recorded it. So I'll be putting that video together, and that's gonna be coming soon too. Other than that, man, we just rehearsing, getting ready for the show. Phyllis Hyman, Living All Alone, September 19th. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets, theater47.com. Yeah, man, just staying busy, staying focused, pray it up,
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's about it for us, man. It's been Chicago Black Ladies Podcast. I've been high thinking. He's been
Jay Rashid.
We got shot on the flip side 'cause we cousins.
Let's go eat.
You guys start spending like a quick 8 with these beats, man.